Let's have a go.
Man, he didn't talk about. I was watching it. I was like, man, when is he gonna ask him about his top 5? You didn't ask him about what his favorite 5 games of the con were.
We sure didn't.
You didn't. I was like, I wanted to type in the chat and be like, what did he enjoy from the con? He talked about Endeavor Deep Sea.
You should have.
And he talked about Shackleton Base, which was by far the worst, best space game I played this weekend.
The worst, best, or the best, worst?
It was the worst one, yet all 3 of the space games were my favorite part of Sobo. I enjoyed all 3 of them. They were all a ton of fun. Shackleton Base was my least favorite and still being a very good game. So.
Yeah. We did not mention that. Sorry. Rob looked pretty much drunk. But he got in pretty late on Sunday. And then,
he said he got in about 11. That's not too bad.
But we gained pretty hard every single day. So Sobo was a success.
Now that you know how to play Bunny Kingdom, now you have to show me how to play that because I don't know how the scoring works in that game.
Well, I had Rob the computer that did the scoring for me.
You didn't know how it works either?
I just kind of... I scored in the middle. I think I actually beat Rob. So I think he was pretty disappointed in that because it was clear I didn't know what I was doing. But I literally did one thing the entire game. I just try every time. There's cards that you can just use to score points instead of putting stuff out. And so I had the least amount of things on there, but they all had like 10 cards that scored points. I had 32 cards. Almost all of them scored points. So when we started the final chapter, the scoring, I'm like 100 points behind Rob, and he's snickering. And then I'll start laying out the cards. And some of them were multiples, so it'd be like, I scored 12. Oh, and here's another 12. Oh, and here's another 12. So I came out, I beat him like by 10 points. So, but not well deserved because I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, I think I could play it now. By the way, I didn't realize it comes with like a ton of different expansions.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. You open it up and realize there's a lot in here.
There's a lot.
What was your favorite games of the con? We don't have. I know we're cutting into the thing. I hadn't talked.
Oh yeah, I'll edit it at that point.
I hadn't talked to you since then.
All right, so talking about Southern Board Game Festival.
Talking about Southern Board Game
Festival. I have to think about my top games. I think my top game of the con, surprisingly, was I'm not sure. Yeah, it was definitely not Andromeda's Edge. Unfortunately, I need to play that again. I did not enjoy my play. I didn't know what I was doing. I was stuck on the other end of a 17-foot table. I couldn't see any. I had to send my camera up to JoJo so he could take pictures of the tiles. And then I would look at the tiles, and I would look up, and Jerod had bought them anyway, so now I needed another picture of the tiles. And to me, those tiles seemed pretty important because you guys were buying lots of them. So,
I'll be honest. My faction said if you win, you increase in supremacy. If you lose, you increase to supremacy. So I said, okay, I'm just going to fight as often as I can because I will always increase supremacy.
Yeah.
And that was my whole goal. And it worked out.
I know my favorite small box game that I play, and that was Longboard, which kind of surprised me.
To play that.
I was not expecting much. I honestly wasn't that excited about it. And then I played it, and I'm like, well, I love Lost Cities. I enjoyed it at the time, but that was 10 years ago, and since then, I've played lots more 4-player card games.
Longboard, Lost Cities?
It feels like Lost Cities, the multiplayer version. So in Lost Cities, as you know, this is also by Rainer Knizia. In Lost Cities, you're trying to start expeditions.
Yeah.
You're trying to get those numbers, and you're trying to go up in the numbers. But once you start an expedition, you're going to lose
scoring.
points.
It's either going to score you points or it's going to lose you points, but it's going to score.
Longboard, you're starting surfboards. But once you start a surfboard, if you don't get a four-length surfboard, you're not scoring any points. So you got to be careful. You need to complete your longboard at least 4. You don't want to just have 4. You need the long ones. It's the only way to win the game. So
playing down that. My favorite part of that is playing the influence down before you start playing numbers. The double, triple, or quadruple your score. And then you score 7 points and you quadrupled 7. Or negative 28 points.
Or you put 3 handshakes out and nobody lets you have another white card and you score 0 times 3.
Negative 60?
Yeah, which is terrible. So you get killed. So it has that feel, but with multiplayer instead of just 2-player. And it's got a very intriguing card hand. So the cards are not actually in your hand. They're in your tableau. So that means that if Jerod wants that 3, that yellow 3, you just take it. You take it from my hand. But in exchange, you got to trade me a card.
Yeah.
So there's lots of pass. In fact, it happens so often that you're not mad. You're like, I'm just putting this card here. I may not even keep it. but I need it to take Jerod's card.
Mm.
So there's a lot of that going on. So I thought it was a really cool one. I got kind of burnt out on that 4-player Lost Cities, the one with the money. Did you ever play that one?
I never played that one.
There is one, but it actually didn't feel like Lost Cities at all. It felt like a different game.
I don't know if 4 players in that game style would work, because Lost Cities is really just a tug of war, kind of like take. So interesting.
I
didn't play a lot of small box games, if I'm being honest. I only played Belrati and the Sunrise Sunset. I don't remember what it's called.
Sunrise at the Studio.
Okay,
so that one was on my list to play. That was on my top 3 list to play at Sobo, and it was as good as I thought. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't tell whether you liked it or not.
I liked it a lot. It's so simple. It is a simple.
Seems like something your wife would like, man.
I'm a big fan of my pass hand. Kind of I split you choose or pass the hands around. So like we've been playing a lot of.
You know what it reminded me of? Hanamakoji.
I haven't played that one.
Hanamakoji has those 5 tiles that you're either going to take this one, which means we split the cards, or this one, which means I get 2, but you only get 1. And Sunrise,
it's exactly the same thing.
Has those 3 choices each round. And
man, I just love that you have to do one of each one by the end of the day. You're playing 3 rounds a day, and you will take 2, give 2, keep 3, give 1. Discard 2, take 1. Like, you will do all 3 of those. You have to pick which hand is going to be good enough for you to do which ones. And I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really simple, yet it was fun. It was easy. Landra, I think Landra would really enjoy that one. And I think it played super well at 3 players. It was really fun at 3 players.
For the big game, it's going to be between Shackleton Base's 3rd round, because the first 2 rounds were terrible.
I thought the 3rd round... I really enjoyed Shackleton Base. I thought it was a ton of fun. I thought the 3rd round was terrible. I thought the 3rd round ruined the game. 100%. I thought it ruined the game.
The first 2 rounds were so bad. I had no clue what I was doing. I could not get any leaves. I couldn't build any farms. And then finally, in the 3rd round, I built a big old round city, and I built some farms and scored some points. It wasn't enough to come close to you guys. But I went into the 3rd round with 14 points. I mean, I was so far back. You were already at 50.
I gained all my points in game. No points towards the end of the game. Everybody else gained a ton of points at the end of the game. I gained almost all of my points during the game. And me, JoJo, and Rob played our last 3 rounds doing almost virtually nothing. Virtually did nothing.
I would definitely want to play it again.
Yeah.
I think what I like about Shackleton Base is it has a module, sort of like what we talked about with Pirate Code, but it has the reverse. I called it the reverse SETI. In SETI, you wait for a while to find out what the 2 alien factions are going to be. This one, they just tell you, here's the 3 factions, whatever the companies. I think they call them.
I can call them companies. Yeah.
Here's the 3 companies you're going to have to deal with. And Rob said they're all slightly different, but they don't break. They don't completely change the game like SETI's does. I mean, SETI, it's a unique experience. I mean, it's totally different depending on what alien comes out. But I like that. I really enjoyed watching the one that you guys did. You guys were doing the one where you were trying to save the freighter from getting hit.
I saw it. I said, that's a lot of points. I'm just going to do that one. And I did. I didn't get a single rover. I didn't get a single leaf the entire game.
That would look fun. But I'd like to play Shackleton Base again because I
would definitely play it again.
But to be honest, the big game that I played was a game you and I have already played, and that's Amalfi. Playing Amalfi in person with Rob was just fun, man. Did we have a 4th player? Yeah, we had Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I love that game. Yeah. I love that game. I love it in person, but it is hard, and we played it so late that I think it should have been played like 3 hours prior to that. I think it was so late that and it's long. It's like it's not
a 2-hour game.
It's a long game because, especially if you know what you're doing, those turns are just extending and extending and extending.
Our first time we played on BGA, where we scored 10 points, that game would have been 20 minutes because we didn't know what we were doing. Right?
No idea.
You and I stretched that game out we squeezed about as much. In fact, at the end, I was kind of like, I don't know, I can't find any more points, and I just kind of with my ships, you and I probably could have squeezed out another couple of points.
Oh, definitely.
If we were...
The problem I hate with that, the one part of the game that drives me nuts is if you end before me and I still have a couple turns left, I end up playing a bunch of turns back to back to back, and I completely forget what I was doing.
Well, Rob and Jeremy were done, and you and I each had 3 ships left. Actually, you had like 5 ships left.
I played. I don't know how many turns. I think I took after everybody was done. I think I took another 6.
I had the faction though, which is surprising.
Turns.
I didn't need 10 ships to do what I wanted to do in that game.
You don't need 10 ships.
Yeah.
You don't. I had 8.
No,
I finished the game with 8.
Yeah.
I finished the game with 8.
The faction gives you tons of ships,
and I finished with 8.
10.
But the thing is, I hated it, but I had to burn the card that let me build the ship and immediately put it into port. I had to burn it. I had to. For the turn I was doing, I had to do it. But I got the one that let me build 2 boats for 2 less, so I built 6 boats in the first 2 rounds. I was totally fine.
But I was kind of mad because I had 2 of the 3 cards that let you score points for artwork, and you stole every single green artwork that came off.
I had so many green private islands. I was like, I guess I'm not going to get green stuff.
He had like 5 green artwork, and I'm the green artwork faction. Thank God I found that other
pivot.
Red.
You have to pivot.
I found the other one, the red one, so I started buying red ones. But that game is also fun because, Jerod, you and I played it a lot, and we're very competitive in it. In other words, we're evenly matched. I mean, you're a little bit better than me, but I mean, I lost by 1 point.
No, I mean, it's just like we go back and forth constantly.
So it's fun. We never know who's going to win until the very end. So that one was a big one for me. The other one you didn't get to play, and I don't know that you would want to play it. But Andrew Buckholtz, my friend from New Orleans, who is a fellow aficionado of Cube Rail games, we got to play a Cube Rail game, and I mean, what an awesome title! It's called Gulf, Mobile, and Ohio. That's the name of the game, and it's the Gulf, Mobile, and Ohio Railroad, but it's different from any other Cube Rail I've ever played. Most of them have a little twist, otherwise it'd be the same game. And this one, the companies themselves all share the same train colors. So normally you're like, okay, I'm going to make this company this train color. In fact, in some Cube Rail games, it's just assigned. And then you're deciding whether you want to buy stock in that train company and help it along, even though you know it's helping Jerod, because at some point you're going to switch to this other train.
Yeah.
In this one, the train companies can share the same colors. So it's very, very puzzly. It's the most puzzly of the Cube Rail games I played. And it's got a really cool auction mechanic too. So that was fun. I got stomped in it. I came out last, but
I think I have successfully played 2 Cube Rails. I can say
you played Irish Gauge.
I have never hated an experience playing it, but it's definitely
Union
not my
Station,
favorite.
I think you played too.
I played Union Station and I played Irish Gauge. I have played 2. I have enjoyed them. And I would play them again.
You played Luzon Rails in New Orleans with Andrew and
it turns out I have played 3.
Remember that one we played at the end of the board game?
That was one of the more basic ones I played. That one is much simpler. I don't hate them. They're just not my favorite mechanic. It's honestly like trick taking. I'll play trick taking games. I will. That is my least favorite mechanic.
Speaking of trick taking,
one of my least favorite mechanics.
Speaking of trick taking,
are we talking about
Fellowship of the Ring?
I didn't play it. Oh, the one. Oh, that was.
You did play it.
I don't prefer trick taking games. I don't even think I own a single trick taking game.
Oh, I dug that.
That is a awesome trick taking game.
I'll be honest. I liked it better than the Crew.
It was awesome. I 100% agree. And it's a theme I'm way
just
more
because of the theme. I like the idea of, instead of taking these little gold cards, which are fun, but after you played the Crew, I have like 120 plays of the Crew, literally, between the 2.
We're currently playing right now.
Yeah.
So we've been playing this game for, how long have we been on this one? Me, you, and Eric have been playing.
I'm in my 30s on one of my the Crew. We're on like 30, mission 33, I think is. But with the trick taking, with the Fellowship of the Ring, the trick taking game, instead of just having quests, you also have characters
that can interact. The trading mechanic says, "You're Frodo. You can only trade with Samwise, Merry, or Pippin."
Right. Which makes
sense. Is awesome, because then you have to go, man. We have to play Frodo this game, so somebody should pick Merry, Pippin, or Samwise in case we need a trade. He needs to trade.
I don't know if I need to own that game, but if you owned it, I would play it with you. That's
I should own that game because I think that's one that Zachary and Emily and Leandro we could all play, because we're big fans of Love Letter. Small card games are probably the thing the 4 of us have got to the table the most.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we played card games the most. Every time we meet up with them, we're always playing. Love Letter comes out every time. Yeah. And we just got like the Bridgerton Love Letter.
The Bridgerton.
There's a Bridgerton Love Letter. There is. We play that one. So it's very cool. I would totally get it. Yeah. If I ever saw it or had the opportunity to buy it, especially the one he had, I would definitely do that. I would definitely seek that out.
Any other games you played that you want to talk about? Yeah. I mean, I will say another one. You didn't get to play it, but Carla Kopp and Nick Kopp were there demoing their brand new tile layer, which you know I love tile. Mm-hmm. Imagine a tile layer, though, that doesn't have your normal paisleys. Yeah, exactly. It's not your normal tetranomals or whatever you want to call those little weird shapes. These are actual paisleys. They look like teardrops. Mm-hmm. And each one of them is an animal. One side's the head, one side's the tail. Did you get to try it?
I saw you play it. I didn't really see what's going on because it was kind of in passing.
No, it's actually pretty simple.
I don't remember what I was doing at the time.
You have three animals.
Yeah.
And they're either small, medium, or large. During the game, of course, you can change it up, but you start with one. And all you're trying to do is put the tail of your animal onto and kind of ride like in that movie with Nemo, where they all kind of rode along the Great Gulf Stream, whatever it was called. I forgot the name of it. But all the turtles were doing that. You do the same thing with this in the ocean. And then when you do that, if you meet certain requirements, you get these bubbles. Mm-hmm. And the bubbles can be placed inside enclosures of the animals.
Yeah, I saw that.
Score points. Yeah. So you're either trying to score points now, or you're trying to score big points that you can. Mm-hmm. So it's very crunchy and thinky for such a small box game. Mm-hmm. But it plays 20 minutes. Carla and Nick is still working on it. I think they should limit it to a board about this size. And that's how Nick was. Carla was like, well, it's the ocean. I want it as big as possible. And I was like, but the beauty of this game is that you don't want it to be an hour long. You want it to be 25 minutes and you're just playing it real quick. It's that Steve Finn style where you're playing it really
entire
quick.
Shelf right there.
Yeah,
that's what you want. It was that whole shelf other than the last game.
Exactly. Yeah, other than that. Although sales pretty good. Is that the one you're looking at? Or?
No, I was talking about Sardinia. Is the only one not on there that is a 20-minute game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Everything on there is a 20-minute game.
Yeah, when Rob and I played Sardinia, it was over an hour. But we were really crunching it hard. It was 11 o'clock at night, and we were playing it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you guys went into that late.
We probably shouldn't have. Yeah, probably shouldn't have.
That's okay.
And I just messed it up on my first turn. Did he tell you what happened? On the first
you forgot which one was going to score. And
because that 2-card rule. So the first one came out is like 3, and the second was like 19. So I'm going, okay, 19. I'm putting all my stuff on 19. And he's just like looking at me funny. And then he goes, 4th card. I'm going to play the Sentinel. I was like, okay. I'm like, he hasn't done anything on 19 at all. He goes, I scored 15 points. I'm like, what? We're scoring 3. I'm like, oh, I didn't have a single piece in 3 at all. Not one.
Yeah. Couldn't even get the second place bonus. Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sucks.
And there was no second place bonus with 2
players,
right?
Yeah,
that's thing. I do want to play Sardinia with 4 players, though. It'd be wacky.
Oh, it's going to be tight. I think it's probably going to shine at 3 players. I feel like it's a 3-player shine.
Let's play it Saturday when we play after we play the Pirate Cove. Maybe we can get some people to come play it. Yeah. All right, well, I got to run tomorrow, so we probably ought to call this.
Mine was SETI.
Oh yeah,
that was my most enjoyable play.
Yeah, I forgot you played it. I wasn't in that game.
First time I played it, it's awesome. It's everything you would want a space game to be. And apparently it changes upgrade mechanic.
It's going to go right there. I'm going to get a copy and it's going to go right in my little space shelf right there with Beta Colony and Scorpius Freighter and the Artemis.
You just need to add Beyond the Sun there.
Where is Beyond the Sun?
It's right there above your Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a very.
It is. It's very good, and it felt it was. We played 3 players: JoJo, myself, and Dave.
How do you compare it to Lost Ruins of Arnak? Doesn't it kind of feel a little bit like that at all? No? With the card mechanic and trying to squeeze everything you can out of every turn, No?
I think there's too much involved in the actual play of it. Like, Lost Ruins of Arnak it's pretty much a deck builder. It feels like a deck builder. It walks like a deck builder. Yeah. But it
deck builder plus, yeah.
Yeah. It's, not a heavy card deck builder. It's a small deck builder, but no, that one doesn't feel like that. That one feels like it is definitely. It feels more like Terraforming Mars.
But I would say much better than Terraforming
Mars. Oh, it's better than Terraforming Mars. I've never been a huge Terraforming Mars fan. I love the game. It's a good game. It's a great game. But I've never been the biggest Terraforming Mars game.
I've never been either.
And I really enjoyed Beyond the Sun. I hated the first play of Beyond the Sun. Every play after that has been fantastic. SETI is definitely just quickly. It's a much better. It's, in my opinion, it's much more enjoyable.
That reminds me. Next time we do that,
those are big ones.
I'm in a regular board game snobs tournament with Beyond the Sun. When it finishes, it takes us months, and then we start a new one. You should get into that.
Oh, I'd be so terrible. I'd be so terrible at it.
Good players, man. These guys are so good at Beyond the Sun. Like I regularly score a lot of points and come out second, and I'm playing as well as I can.
Yeah,
and I'm still losing by 3 points to other players. They're all good players.
I have hundreds of games of Castles of Burgundy, and I'm still terrible at it. Beyond the Sun is going to be terrible. I will not be winning anything. Much fun, though. Such a great game.
So yeah, SETI better than Terraforming Mars. I like it better than Lost Ruins of Arnak only because it's more recent.
Yeah.
I will play Lost Ruins of Arnak more because it's my wife's favorite game. So that's the one she wants to play once a month. And we have the expansion coming. So
no.
Yeah. Logan's got the expansion coming.
That's awesome.
We already played through the whole campaign. You did too, I guess. So.
Of what? Lost Ruins of Arnak?
Yeah.
No, I
The Missing Expedition.
I haven't played the game. Yeah. And then the last one, War of the Whispers. It's my con game. I play it every con. I love it. It's one of my favorite games. It is. I bring it to every single con. I've played it at every single con I've ever been to.
That's such a Rob game. Here's why. Because at BGG Con, Rob was famous for going, yeah, I don't know about this game. I don't know. It's kind of, I guess I'll have to buy it. Like, what? The whole time I was like, he doesn't even seem to be enjoying it.
Did he enjoy it? I didn't really, I couldn't figure out if he enjoyed it.
He wants to buy it. He wants to track down a copy. Yeah. So
it is.
JoJo loved it, by the way.
I know. And I'm so glad because I love playing it with people who end up enjoying it because next con I could easily bust it out because I've always played Jack. I play with his son. Jack plays with me every time. Yeah. We love the game. We're so competitive with it. Man, because it comes down to 2 points every time.
JoJo, Doug playing that game, War Whispers, y'all all like area control. Or Mitchell loves,
Yeah. I played with Mitchell, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I played with Mitchell.
But Doug loves games like Blood Rage and...
Awari, he plays with us,
Awari. Hey, he's buying a copy.
Is he? Did he decide to buy it?
What's the one with the suitcase and you're throwing people in the fishes? The fishes, you kick them in the water. You're shooting up gangsters. The Godfather? Yeah.
I haven't played that.
Oh, you haven't played The Godfather? Another airplane game. It's
okay.
much like Blood Rage.
Yeah.
It's Blood Rage with suitcase where you have
Blood Rage.
Yeah. Well, Doug does. Doug likes it, though. So.
Yeah, they play Wonder Islands War, which I wish I would have been able to play, but yeah.
War Whispers.
War Whispers. If you ever get a chance to play it, I would highly recommend it. It's fun. It's not long.
I got in the ring again because he and I had almost the same board. But
it always happens. It comes down to who plays. There's +1 and they're -1 best. That is what wins the game.
And he beat me because your faction was better than mine. Because we were doing the same things.
I said, I know what I'm doing. I'm saving these 2 cards for the horse. And when the horse faction came up, castle, in game, +8 points.
Yeah, you did something weird too.
Yes,
you never do this. In the first round, you flipped, and we're like, I'm going to show you.
I flipped on round 2. I was like, there's no way it's going to stay that way.
It was a smart move, though.
I had to. Yeah. Because everybody was just hammering red. Yeah. And I was like, there's no way red's going to stay in.
And I think you moved blue up, right?
Yellow.
Oh, it's yellow.
Swap yellow in. Which nobody had yellow in first. I just want to point out, yet everybody was doing as much as they could to get yellow as many cities as possible. I could not figure out
red
why.
First and yellow second. So I was all over that. But
I was trying to figure out what is going on here.
When you dumped red, I knew I was in trouble, man. Did you set red to the bottom?
Oh yeah, to -1. Yeah. No, blue. I sent blue to -1. That's what I sent.
Oh yeah,
red was my 0.
Red was 0. Yeah. I knew I was in trouble, man. I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for Southern Board Game Fest recap. Our top games that we didn't do. Our second recap of the week. But
there'll be another one at some point.
Yeah, we'll
talking about it again.
Until next time, laissez, rouler.